What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul. This is the Leeds Therapy. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. On your screen, you will see all of my socials. If you can make sure that you can give those a follow for me. So with YouTube, if you can make sure that you are subscribed, that your notifications are turned on, and that you're commenting as well, that you like the video, because that helps with the algorithm as well. Before we get into the video, I just wanted to say, I've been getting some really nice comments on my videos recently, just people sort of saying thanks and just appreciative of the stuff that I've done. And I just wanted to say a big thanks. They don't go unnoticed. I try to like every comment, whether it's a good comment or a bad comment. I appreciate anybody that takes time to watch my videos and make any form of comment on it. So just from me, just thank you so much for that. The support doesn't go unnoticed, and I do genuinely appreciate it. So thank you. So we are having our review of the big game, Crystal Palace, Leeds United. Game ends 0-0, and I wish it was just as easy as it being a 0-0. It's not. Yet again, we are going to be having a game where we're talking about Bramall's performance rather than the actual game itself. When you look at certain elements of stuff, so just a bitty overall performance, but just things in terms of the referee. This is like now the fourth week in a row where the referee has dominated proceedings in terms of the way that it works and cards that are given out, and just stop-starting to the game, falling for players rolling around on the floor, pretending that they've been absolutely shot. I mean, you've got Sarr running into Biol, trying to get him sent off. You've got Lerma flinging himself all over the floor, trying to get another player sent off, and then you've got Sarr again rolling around that eventually gets Gabby sent off. And it's just the standard of officiating in this league is just hilariously inconsistent. And one of the things that we're not very good at is that we need to start being playing the game a little bit more, I think is a fair comment to make. We need to be, if you watch like some of the Palace players up and around and aggressively around circling the referee, because they're so scared to make a decision on their own that they're even easily influenced by somebody just rolling and pointing at their thing, or pointing at the mouth, or pointing at the face, or holding the face, or whatever, to get a decision to go their way. And we don't do that. We're too honest. We're too honest, and we're too nice. And I think we need to be getting a little bit more involved in the dark arts. But, you know, when you look at it, the inconsistencies just of the referee, you've got Brennan Johnson within the first, 3 minutes, knee-high tackle on Goodmanson, doesn't get booked for it. He then does it again towards the end of the second half and eventually gets booked. But then takes out Justin in the second half, just completely swipes him out and doesn't get booked for it. And there's no attempt to play the ball. It's a clear yellow card incident. He should be sent off. We should be back down to it being, 10 aside rather than 11-10 or 12-10, depending on how you look at it. But, you look at the Gabby Goodmanson incident. He was kicked around from pillar to post. And the first time he puts a tackle on, he's pulling on Brennan Johnson. But they're both pulling on each other. And there's no word or warning or rhyme or reason. He's just getting a straight yellow card. He then makes a silly decision to go in for a tackle just after the penalty's missed. And the ref, for some reason, forgets that he has already booked Gabby. And you can see the absolute look of shock on the ref's face when he realises, oh no, I'm going to have to send him off. But he wasn't sure until he was told that this is the second yellow card that he's had now. So, yet again, we're discussing the consistency of referees, or the quality of referees in the so-called best league in the world. And I'm sorry, but the refs are just not good enough. They're so afraid to make decisions or so afraid to put their head above the parapet without it looking like they're going to have to get shot down for whatever reason. So for me, it's really hard because I was watching Connor's match reaction, and he's right, because you talk about it and you kind of go, there's almost a certain level of conspiracy that goes with this, that people are actively trying to make sure that we go down in some way, shape or form. Now, the penalty, we'll talk about that. The penalty that was given to DCL, it was a penalty all day long, absolutely 100% should have been, no two ways about it. I don't know what he's jumping up and thinking the ball for. Keeper goes the wrong way. DCL should be putting that in 9 times out of 10. And I don't know if there's a little bit of lack of confidence going on with him or if there's something just not quite right with him. It's a tough one, but people miss penalties. That's all I'm going to say. But then we have just this capitulation that's happened to us now for 2 weeks running. So last week, we have a goal chalked off against Sunderland for being offside. We then give a penalty away within the space of about 20 seconds to Sunderland for Sunderland to score and then win the game. We then, this week, miss a penalty and then 5 minutes later have a player sent off. And you just think, this is absolutely Leeds, this. This is absolutely 100% Leeds in just the way that the game actually went. And you're just thinking, Jesus Christ, we're absolutely sleepwalking into this really horrible situation where we're going to end up going down. And you can't help but feel that because you have the PTSD of the last season that we were in the Premier League, all of that kind of stuff, and it all kind of comes in, but you've got to try and get the negativity out of that. Now, Farke had some decisions to make at half-time. The first half performance was battley. Wasn't a lot of quality in there. I think between both teams, there was only 188 passes completed at all. So it wasn't brilliant, but we were battling. We were creating chances, so it wasn't too bad. Second half, he's got a real decision to make in terms of what he does and how he goes about how he goes about his business and what he actually needs to do to make sure that it's all right. Everybody thought that he was going to bring Biol off because of the yellow card, and obviously as well, I mentioned it, but trying to get him sent off when Sarr runs into him is absolutely it's laughable, it's pathetic, it's gamesmanship. But then again, this is what unfortunately we've kind of come to expect a little bit from the Premier League this season. It's more about trying to con referees than it is actually trying to, the integrity of the game and try to play the game properly. So a lot of us were all saying that maybe Biol should come off because he's on a yellow. But then he does keep him on. Gruev comes on. Metcha goes off. Aronson goes off as well, and Bogle comes on. And you kind of think, oh, Christ. But then, to be fair to Farke, he actually made the right decisions for that to happen in terms of the substitutions that he made. And the second half performance was an absolutely brilliant, backs to the wall, defending, keeping a team out, good, solid performance. So, you look at all of the players. Darlow made some good saves within that game. Thought Strauch had a decent game as well, was trying to get the ball forward, looked to be quite good. Rodon, some really important blocks and challenges in there. Lovely cross for a DCL chance in the first half as well. Biol kept Strand Larsen quiet. Kept Mateta quiet when he came on. That's just what Biol does. That second half performance for Biol just proves why he should be there all of the time. 100%. Bogle, Justin had a decent game. I thought Justin was absolutely fine. Nothing too spectacular, but tried to attack down the wings. Gabby was doing well until he got sent off. Again, I don't think it was a sending off. I think if he realises, if the ref remembers that he's already booked him, I think he probably gets put on a final warning and not getting sent off. Stack grew into the game, as he seems to do a lot of the time. Had a really good volley in the second half as well, which forced a save. I thought Ampadu was absolutely monstrous in the second half. Unbelievably good in the second half. I agree with Jer's assessment of the game. I thought in the first half, the thing that we weren't doing very well is we weren't winning the second balls. We were doing well in the tackles and stuff, but we weren't sort of sweeping up the second balls at all. What Ampadu did was that he was getting himself around about the place. He was breaking up play. He was winning second balls. He was strong in the challenge. And he was standing up and he was being counted. And Ampadu needed that performance in the Premier League as well. He absolutely stood up and was counted for me. So, just brilliant. He was my man of the match. Absolutely, 100%. It's not even up for discussion. He was man of the match. Brendan Aronson, I think his purple patch has faded a little bit. And I think that he is being used for his work rate a little bit too much. Had a golden opportunity that he pulled wide when he should have really got the shot on target. I thought Mecha was okay. He was busy, but it's difficult. I would prefer to see him up top with Calvert-Lewin at the same time, a la, Man City game. But I thought he was all right. He was doing a lot of channel running. He was trying to get into space, the getting in behind, all of that kind of stuff. So that was, he was okay. DCL did a lot of donkey work today, but it wasn't his best game. And I just wonder if there's a little bit of it's been mentioned with regards to a little bit of a confidence thing with him, maybe. And do you know what it is? I reckon he just needs to score a goal. And if he scores a goal, he'll probably take off again like he normally does. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a clean sheet. We went down to 10 men. We take a point. We battled. The character of the team was shown, which was absolutely brilliantly on display in that second half. They were solid defensively, which is what they absolutely needed to be. Darlow dealt with everything, apart from that little bit at the beginning, dealt with everything that was kind of brought to him. So no issues, overall with the aptitude and the togetherness and the just the way that the team played, the identity of the team in the second half. It was a very much thou shalt not pass. And Up to Joe put out a fantastic statistic about this, saying that Leeds United are the only team on record, by the way, to have a player sent off in the first half and not concede a single shot on target in the same Premier League match. And that's since 2003, 2004. That is massive. And it wasn't like we were massive and they were peppering and under the cosh. We were breaking up the play fantastically well. It wasn't like it was a shithouse performance to get yourself where you needed it to go. Was it a great game? No. Was it a great advertisement for the best league in the world? No, the game was horrible. The referee was absolutely appalling the entire game. How Brennan Johnson was still on the pitch, I will never know. And watching that, what's he called? Convent or convert, or whatever the hell he's called, celebrating that player being sent off and people going, oh, look at the passion that he's shown. Yeah, he's that passionate that you didn't manage to get a single shot on target against a newly promoted side that were down to 10 men. I was praying that we scored and we were able to go up and be in his face and just make an absolute nuisance of him. But, I mean, like I said, it is what it is. The other thing that was really good to see was that Gabby came out at the end of the game and he came to the away end and he was shaking hands with everybody and apologising. And I think we need to give a special mention to the away fans as well, because to say that was a home game for Crystal Palace, the Leeds fans were incredible. To a man, woman, child, they were unbelievably good today. Loud, in your faces, non-stop, and applauding and just trying to dig the team along to the end goal of minimum coming away with a point, which is what we did, which is, in the grand scheme of things, as you kind of look at it and don't look at it in isolation, that could potentially be a huge point for us when the end of the season comes in. Now, looking at it as well, there are the comments that came out from Farke. He said on Gabby Goodmanson's red card, it was never a yellow card. It was not a tactical foul. I'm disappointed the referee had forgotten he'd already awarded Gabby a yellow. I think that's probably the politest way to put it. That was from Adam Pope. Baron Cross said, compliments to my players. Another day proved why I would trust my boys with my life. Can always count on them. Not flawless, but how we adapted to strange decisions, it's a politically correct way of saying it, that mentality, had more XG than an 11-man team. Farke also said, if we had played with 11, we could have won the game. In these circumstances, a priceless point, a clean sheet, a valuable point, edging closer to what we want to achieve. And then Ethan Ampadu was asked at the end of the game as well just how he felt with regards to the match and everything that happened and went on with it. And he said, to wear a Leeds United shirt, you've got to fight for each other, which is no surprise that we did. A sending off does change games slightly, but we had full confidence that we would get a point and stick in. And that mentality of this team, that's one of the things, and it's one of the things that, should we stay in this league, is going to keep us in this league 100%, is the mentality of the team and the fight that we do have. It's just pleasing to see. I've gone from being absolutely disappointed to being feeling okay about it now when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Forest drew, West Ham drew, we've drawn. Currently, let me just check and make sure that I'm not dreaming anything. Yep, currently it's 43 minutes into the Tottenham and Spurs game, and Liverpool are 1-0 up, so Spurs are losing, so that's good. So if it stays that way, then the weekend's been an as you were weekend, and then it's Brentford under the lights, and we need to go and get a result. We have to go and get a result, a win. It's got to be a win. I would also play exactly the same team that I played today. Maybe swapping out Aronson for a Dan James or a Nonto. We'll just have to wait and see. But overall, I'm fuming with the referee's performance, because yet again, this is the fourth time this season now. I'd actually argue that it's more, but I'm fuming with the referee. But I'm so proud of the lad's fight and character to get it over the line with 10 men and come away with a point, which is, it's an invaluable point at the end of the day. That's what we need to look at. That's going to do it for this one, guys. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please don't forget to click the like button. If you're new to the channel, please also don't forget to subscribe. Make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure you're commenting. Like the video as well for me, please. That's really important because it helps with promoting and the algorithm and everything. If you're listening on audio, please make sure that you are liking the audio version for it as well. Take care of each other. Most importantly, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your kind of weekend, because there's only a few hours of it left. And I'll see you soon. Cheers.